Hello. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Cool Down Timer. I am Alejandro Jones, and this is my good buddy, Floyd Blackman.
I'm the white one.
That you are. This is the very first episode of our podcast. We're gonna, test it out, see what it's like. Use this as a kind of experiment into the world of internet audio entertainment.
And to be completely honest, we had nothing better to do.
Okay, so one thing that we were talking about before while we were doing some of the practices was we were talking about how he has a difficult time pronouncing my name, which then got us talking about the Lady Gaga song Alejandro, which then got me thinking about the trailer I saw this morning for Machete Kills.
I have not heard of this.
It's a sequel to a movie that was based off of a fake trailer.
Okay, then.
Okay, that was 7-8 years ago. I believe it was Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino did these really bad horror movies, or horror slasher, violence, or blood, whatever movies, which I believe they called the Grindhouse films. And in between, it was like a double feature, and in between they had these fake trailers, and one of them was for this movie called Machete. And they made the movie Machete a couple of years later, and then the sequel's coming out soon, and it's got... Oh, my phone went off. That blinking light is gonna bug me. Ow. Okay, so I saw the trailer for Machete Kills this morning, and I'm intrigued.
Oh, gosh.
It looked horrible, but fantastic at the same time. Who was in it? Okay, so Danny Trejo, who was the guy who played the head on the turtle in Breaking Bad. Spoiler alert. And it's got, I think Lady Gaga's in it. She did a song her song was in the trailer. Who else is in it? Charlie Sheen played the president.
Oh, good Lord.
Except for he's going by his birth name now.
Which is?
Carlos Estevez. Shoot. Watch it. It's a horrible trailer, but it looks wonderfully terrible.
Wow. Yeah, I just feel like they're just having entirely too much fun at this point. Because, what is it? You said it was a movie based off of a...
It's a sequel to a movie based off of a fake trailer.
Okay. Yeah, because that just sounds like something we would do when we were goofing around. Of course, ours would never get done.
We'd write the script for the fake trailer, and then get a cast together, and storyboard about half of it.
And then bail.
And then completely ditch, because neither of us wanted to direct it.
We are very pre-production guys. We've learned that.
We need directors.
Yeah.
The last project that we worked on is currently in... It's not development hell. Would it still be considered development hell if everything's done except for actually producing it?
I honestly think that right now it's in denial. We've just decided it doesn't exist anymore. None of us want to acknowledge the fact that it will probably never be finished.
Except for the fact that I paid $14 to get a domain name.
Yeah. We really do need to do that.
For the fake restaurant chain.
I designed logos for this thing and everything. Like, we've got all kinds of like little random pre-production stuff done on it. It's ready to be filmed, but then we're just like, we don't want to.
3 scripts are done. We've got a cast that at one point was very willing to participate. It's been at least 3 or 4 months since we last communicated with about half of them.
At least we didn't go and buy all the costumes. Because...
like the diaper with the giant...
Okay, this is just getting weird, man. Yeah, we had some... we had some interesting costumes.
It was going to be a diaper... It was originally going to be a diaper with a 2-foot wide...
It was
safety pin.
But it was changed to a toga later.
Changed to a toga.
Just because we would be shooting in public, and none of us like those awkward situations. He's a Cupid, just so you know. We didn't randomly have a guy in a diaper.
Well, we did have a guy.
Well, we did have.
Nobody else.
We were going to have a guy in a diaper, but he was a Cupid, so it's okay.
It worked.
Come to internet near you this Valentine's Day.
Never.
Yeah,
Jeez.
never.
Well, that's. We were shooting to have that out by February. We think too far in advance.
We really do. We have this really big issue with planning way ahead and dreaming a little too big. You know, when you're a kid, they're always like, dream big, reach for the stars. Don't.
That screwed up an entire generation of children.
Yes, it did.
What is it? Since what the mid late 80s until mid late 90s or whatever. I believe it's called Generation Y. Whatever generation we're a part of, we grew up on Disney movies saying, just imagine what you want. You can be anything you put your mind and heart to.
And remember, if you die, Pokemon Tears will bring you back to life.
Pokemon Tears, baby.
And believing.
That is one of the 2 or 3 things my sister ever cried at, like watching a movie or a TV show.
You know,
the other one was the Pokemon episode with the Pikachus.
Yeah. No, I'm a big Pokemon fan, as you know. I recently rewatched that first movie, and good Lord, what were they thinking? It's so bad. There's literally a line in that movie where they say, Pokemon aren't meant to fight. Not like this. Pokemon are meant to fight. The whole franchise is based around Pokemon fighting.
I just got a text message from one of my friends. Their little sister is going to be a black cat for Halloween.
Okay, then.
I know, right? But, speaking of Pokemon, the first movie. So there was a sequel, or a sort of sequel, that was all about Mewtwo returning. It was called Mewtwo Returns. The Mega Evolution of Mewtwo is supposed to be the continuation of that story thread, and one of the movies that's they've still made Pokemon movies, and so the Pokemon movie that's coming out this year has to do with the return of Mewtwo.
Is it gonna be called The Return of Mewtwo?
I don't remember.
You know, my little brothers, they watched The Return of the Mewtwo, and it was pretty bad. I don't know. Like, I love Pokemon, but the movies are terrible.
Apparently, from the original, like Pokemon the first movie, they cut like 10 or 15 minutes of it when they released it in America because they thought it was a part of the Mewtwo backstory because they thought it was too dark.
Well, that was the weird thing, though, is that the movie was dark, and like, it just didn't fit the mood of Pokemon. Pokemon isn't dark; it's cheery, and it's yeah, that one. Well, and then the other weird thing is that like little Pikachu adventure in the beginning.
Is that the one where they're at the theme park and then Pikachu and Raichu are racing each other and their like faces are right next to each other and they're destroying the entire theme park?
I don't think so because I don't think I've ever seen that one. But
maybe that was 2000.
No, that wasn't in 2000. That was the only Pokemon movie I ever owned when I was a kid.
The one in front of 2000 was with Togepi.
I think so.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Man, it's weird to think that was... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, Pokemon.
X and Y is getting good reviews.
I'm honestly excited to try it out.
Are getting good reviews because it's X and Y.
It's X and Y. It's a little stupid. I still call... I have white, and I still call it black and white. I'm a terrible person, and I'm sure that you've corrected me many, many times. He's a stickler.
So you know how in Steam you can, well, you may or may not know, you can make it so that other non-Steam games are accessible from your Steam library, and you can name them whatever you want. He decided to add this one game that we've been playing, Cube World, but instead of naming it Cube World, he renamed it to something awesome, but it was spelled capital S OMETHING space lowercase a.
Dun dun dun!
Oh my gosh.
He threw a fit. It was great. So I renamed it to lowercase a, and I made the a lowercase and the start of lower in case lowercase, and then everything else uppercase. And I get on Steam the next day and I start playing that game, and he's just like, You dick. Made me really happy. Made me really just feel special.
Ow, my phone burns my eyes. We're doing this in a car. Because it's the quietest place we can, that we have accessible to both of us. So, yeah, we're doing
Our powers combined.
We're doing it in a car.
Coming to you live from a driveway.
From a driveway at 10 o'clock at night.
So, yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. What have you been up to lately?
What have I been up to lately? I have been cutting blackberries. I hate blackberries, but that is a boring, monotonous subject. Blackberry cutting. I broke the tool I've been using.
What are you... Oh, this is going to sound really... I work at a farm. What tool are you using?
It's like one of those steel hedge trimmers, except for it's green and battery powered.
Okay. Then.
So I got a good hour up per charge, but part of the part... So there's the rod thing, and it sticks into the thing.
I think this is no longer interesting.
Something broke.
Cool. So yeah, I recently started playing WoW again. Yeah, this is another thing. I'm a big MMO fan. Alex is not. All right. I was playing. I stopped playing WoW for a while. I go through big phases. But anyway, I stopped playing WoW for a while. Recently,
and he had a productive life. He got some jobs,
which I still have.
One of which he still has.
I have two. I'm just choosing not to go to the other one because I hate it. Anyway, so I started playing WoW. I was playing SWTOR for a while because I was like, it's free.
But you were paying the subscription.
I know, that was the thing. I ended up paying the subscription for it because I was enjoying it. And at that point, I'm like, why am I not just playing World of Warcraft? It's the game. And okay, so my one big complaint with Star Wars: The Old Republic is that it's a fun game. It has its problems.
No, it's not. Yes, it does.
It has its upsides. He really hates MMOs, by the way.
There are some exceptions.
Yeah, the exceptions that can hardly be considered MMOs anymore. Anyway.
EVE is the only massively multiplayer online game over the last 10 years that has increased its active subscriber base every year.
Very well. But
I think they have 500,000 subscribers now.
Wow! That's as many as my server on World of Warcraft. And my server is a dead server. Anyway, the thing with Star Wars: The Old Republic though is that you gotta pay for things even if you're already paying. You gotta pay like all the coolest stuff you can get, all the coolest
cartel coins.
Yeah, it's all cartel coins and stuff. And I was like, well, that's no fun. I see someone on a cool mount and I'm like, wow. You just got lucky when you bought something with real money. And in WoW, you see something on a crazy dragon, and you're like, wow, you have a lot of time on your hands to farm that, and you're extremely lucky. Like my buddy. Anyway,
Ringo?
Good Lord, that boy. Oh my gosh. I've been raiding with him, and freaking everything drops for him, and he drives me nuts. He's always topping whatever meter of whatever he's doing.
We make fun of the fact that every game he plays, it's only a matter of time before he finds some sort of exploit and
he ruined Minecraft for me. We were playing Minecraft. We used to play Minecraft, and we'd have this whole little economy that went on. Well, he gets on. Within about half an hour, he has 6 chests of diamonds, and he has completely corrupted the economy.
He has a really, really efficient method of mining.
It's not even that. I know his method. He's just lucky. I can do the exact same thing as him, and I won't get the diamonds. Yeah, I don't know. He breaks everything he touches, and he's just good at everything. Drives me nuts.
We love you, Ringo.
We love you, Ringo. But you're crazy. But yeah, anyway, so I enjoy MMOs a whole lot. I don't know. I think there's something cool to the whole teamwork aspect of them.
There's so many other games that have teamwork aspects to them that you don't have to pay $15 a month for, or spend a significant chunk of time to try to just level up your dudes to get to the end game content.
That is kind of annoying. I was actually I was leveling up a character with my girlfriend, and it was funny because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, man, I'm almost the original max level. I've only been playing for a couple hours. They've really expanded on that. Level 90. Good lord, that takes forever to get to nowadays.
I would so much rather just spend the time like, okay, so we were talking about this the last time we had this discussion. We tend to have this discussion every couple weeks or months. But the last time we were talking about it, I was talking about how games like MMOs like Eve have their own barrier to entry versus the time commitment that's required with like WoW or SWTOR to get to max level before you can actually start, quote, playing the game. Eve has a learning curve.
Good
like
lord.
No.
Yeah, there was I think it was like a free-to-play week or something. Was that what it was?
You did a trial.
Yeah, I did a trial or something. I tried it out. I bought the game. I just haven't played it yet.
You took advantage of a Steam sale to get the first month on or discounted.
I have no regrets. No, but
I did that too.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Steam's amazing. If you don't have Steam, you should get it. Anyway,
I've had to tell people recently that like they would buy games like right before a sale. It's like, no, you're doing Steam wrong.
This episode of Cooldown Timer brought to you by Steam. Not really. I wish they knew who I was. No, I'm just kidding.
Could go work for them. You could feed us leaks on Half-Life 3.
How long has that been in production?
Well, it technically hasn't been announced yet.
Uh-huh.
But I believe the last new Half-Life game or episode, not including Portal, because that technically takes place in the Half-Life universe, but that doesn't count.
Right.
It was episode 2, and that came out with the orange box
right
before I turned 17. So that was the first M-rated game that I ever owned. Was
God, what was the first? I think Fear was the first M-rated game I ever owned.
That was a scary game. Well, it wasn't scary.
Not really.
It was creepy.
It was weird. It had its moments, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
And then it went the way of so many other horror games, and by the third game, it turned into an action game.
Mm-hmm.
Dead Space 3.
Dead Space 3, I don't know. Like, we started playing that a while back, because we got that on
And then you started playing WoW again.
Yeah. I did.
Now we're back to
I just love healing so much. But yeah, no, I don't know. I really like the teamwork aspect of doing the raids and doing the dungeons, and I think that was me.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. But, just running through there with a group of people, and every single one of those people has to do their job. And as soon as someone doesn't do their job, you're all dead. So, that's Ringo wanting me to play WoW with him. I promised him I would raid 2 hours ago.
You're addicted.
No, we're resilient.
Don't give me that. It's not an addiction. It's a chemical dependency crap.
Hey, I haven't said that about anything in a long time. I don't remember what I used to say that about. Cigars. I don't smoke those anymore. I used to smoke cigars, and I don't. They make me so like I had one not too long ago with I thought I silenced my phone with my buddy, and I had a cigar with him, and I just felt really sick. So I'm not smoking those anymore.
Well, didn't you also smoke a crazy cheap one?
Yeah, and I think I might have just had a really bad one, but it kind of ruined my appetite for them. So I'm good. I'm good. I got beer now, so that was 18 to 20. So I'm legal. I don't do anything illegal.
Hey there, ladies. He's legal.
Oh, stop it, you. So yeah.
One game that will have massively multiplayer online elements that has been on my radar recently is Star Citizen.
Ooh, this sounds really interesting.
I know, right? If you don't know what Star Citizen is, it was this game that I believe was it was a Kickstarter project by the guy who either worked on or created the Wing Commander series.
I don't know a whole lot about that one.
Classic space
Okay.
game. They did a Kickstarter for it 2012, so what, last year? And it was successful, and he wanted to basically make a game that was... The easiest way to explain it is a more accessible first-person shooter Eve. But they actually... Okay, so they did the Kickstarter, and it was successful, and they've kept doing their own crowdfunding on their own site. They recently passed $20 million.
Wow.
They have buku cash to make this thing. But what's kind of cool about it, it's got a lot of the typical, you can do anything you want type things. You can go be a trader, you can go mine, you can go be a pirate. And everybody else in the universe that you're playing with is another human being who's playing it as well. And so that's a very Eve-esque type thing. But I mean, it's a very Mountain Blade, Evacron, Mercenary. There are a lot of games like that. But train of thought, gone, come back, chugga, choo choo. What was I talking? Star Citizen, right? Okay. But what they're gonna do with it is they also have this your character you can actually play in first person mode. So you can walk around different the cities and whatnot. You can walk around in your ship, and if you have a big enough ship and you need to get a crew, you can have the ship crewed by other human players.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. So you can be driving the ship, and other players can be doing the turrets.
So you could totally be on someone. That's kind of neat.
And then you can send boarding parties to other people's ships. And then you have to get into first person mode, and
this game is too good to be true. I mean, there's
then
no
you have to,
way.
Fend off the invaders, and if your ship explodes, you'll be floating in outer space, and you can then get captured. You can get picked up by either friendlies or enemies, and if you're picked up by friendlies, you can then join in doing the first person stuff on their ship, or you can. If you're picked up by an enemy, they can sell you into slavery, and you have to work your way to freedom.
And that part is just the WoW crafting crafting skills.
Yeah, this game sounds.
That sounds really neat.
Cool.
I'm actually really excited for that.
I believe they're intending for a full release by end of next year.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, hopefully by then I'll be on a break from WoW. That's what I do. I play for a while, then I'm like, I'm done, and I stop playing. Then I come back next year and I play again.
Which would explain our problem with making video projects.
Oh, don't blame those on me. Those are as much you as they are me.
That.
Oh, you're just talking
mindset,
about that mindset,
which I am a victim of as well. It forced us.
Yeah, I've just kind of started writing it and just being okay with it. I know pretty soon I'm going to be obsessed with probably Pokemon because X and Y is coming out.
Pokemon.
I'm kind of excited for that.
You don't have a 3DS yet.
No, I'm going to get a 3DS just to play X and Y because...
Are you going to get a 2DS?
What?
Do you not know about the 2DS? I'm assuming that means you don't know what the 2DS is.
You're confusing me.
There's the 3DS.
Of course.
There's the 3DS XL.
Yeah.
And then there's the 2DS.
I didn't actually know about this.
Nintendo popped it out it was a surprise announcement 2 months ago.
Oh, Nintendo. Go home. You're drunk.
Okay, so you got your 3DS and your 3DS XL, which build off of the basic DS which has the clamshell type thing where it opens and closes. I'm I'm making the motions that you can obviously see. And so it's got that kind of clamshell thing, and you got the 2 screens, and you got your controls at the bottom, or on the same piece as the bottom screen, and then your speakers on the top.
Something like that.
The 2DS, it's one solid piece of plastic with the 2 screens on it, and the buttons are about the middle of the 2 screens, and it's $40 cheaper and does not have the 3D function.
Freaking weird.
It comes out the same day as Pokemon X and Y.
Of course it does.
It's $40 cheaper the day a $40 game comes out.
I see what you did there.
Not what I did there. It's what Nintendo did there.
Clever girl.
But it's more directed towards children 7 and younger, from what I heard. Children who you do not want to be able to flip on the 3D and break their young eyes.
Yeah, I probably will never really use the 3D. I gotta catch them all.
It's the
That's not even like their logo thing. How did this end up about Pokemon? Like,
we had a list of other discussion topics.
We had a list, and there was no Pokemon involved. No, but that's not even like really a thing in Pokemon anymore. They don't say gotta catch them all. It's all about being the best now. Well, I mean, it was always about
being the best.
I want to be the best trainer.
But it's about being the best still, but it's not about catching them all, because that is now impossible. Because there was 650 and before the new.
I believe there are 750.
They're adding another 100. Also, I heard that. I did not want this to be a Pokemon podcast, but since fate has decided that it will be, I heard that they're gonna start with the original starters again.
What I believe they're doing is that within the first hour of the game, you actually will get two separate starter Pokemon.
Interesting.
One will be from the new 3. You got your Leaf.
Do I remember their names? We got
Chespin, the
Chespin,
Leaf Squirrel, the Beard Frog, and
yeah, I give up.
Whatever.
Yeah,
and
those
then,
3.
And then you have access to the original 3.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Bringing it back home.
Yeah. Well,
I remember a time.
Once upon a time, a long
when I was
time
worried
ago.
that it's like, oh man, I gotta figure out a way to, hack the system so I can, restart this game like 3 or 4 times so I can trade them over to another one so I actually have at least all 3 starters or I'll never catch them all.
We were lonely children. No,
I remember playing Pokemon while sitting on a tractor. That was Zelda. That was Link's Awakening.
Okay.
It was on my Game Boy Color, man.
Man, I loved Link to the Past.
We were baling hay.
Oh, really?
I remember that summer. My mom went to Canada without me.
So sad. No, I was
I didn't want to go.
Oh yeah. I really loved A Link to the Past when I was a kid. That was one of the first.
I never beat it.
Really? I beat it twice.
I was on the final dungeon and I couldn't beat it.
I had a lot of fun with it. My second playthrough, I managed to find every piece of a heart without a strategy guide.
Apparently there's not apparently. Whatever. There's a new Zelda game coming out that is a sort of sequel spin-off to A Link to the Past.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A Link to the Future.
I believe it's called A Link Between Worlds.
I think I actually heard about this.
It's 3DS game.
Of course.
And you can jump into walls as a cartoon drawing.
Uh-huh.
But it makes use of the same basic overworld. But with different dungeons, and they're adding a shop where you can either buy or rent other game other special items so that you can do the dungeons in any order.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Trippy.
But
that was the one thing about that game is it had 30 freaking dungeons. There were so many. It just never ending. But
until it ended
twice for me. But yeah, that was a difficult game. There's a lot of dungeons.
it was one of the criticisms I've actually heard about that one was the fact that in a totally different style from the original game, it presented the dungeons in an order that you had to go through them in, unless you were in the Dark World, and then it still numbered things, but you actually didn't have to do them in that order.
Wow. It's been a while for me. Yeah. The other game I've been playing lately is Cube World.
Cube World.
We've been playing that together. Oddly addicting.
Oddly addicting. Addictive.
Especially for
Everybody says addicting. It should be addictive.
See what I mean? No, it's still an alpha.
It's a very, 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 very
alpha.
Polished alpha, though.
Yeah.
Like, it tends to be more stable in its alpha state than Minecraft is in its post-release state.
I'm pretty impressed with it. It feels like Minecraft meets World of Warcraft, to be completely honest. It's, what is it, like 1 to 10 players at this point?
I believe it's been up to 10 players, yes.
Yeah. But it's it's a kind of cutesy pixel kind of looking game like Minecraft. But instead of building it's an adventuring game, and you're set in this huge infinite world,
randomly generated world.
Yeah, and you had to run
Minecraft
around.
style, based off of a random or a number seed.
Yeah, and then you've got your there's like four classes. There's Ranger, Mage, Warrior, and Rogue. Sorry,
character.
I forgot about the Rogue.
Each one has a special, one of 2 specializations you can choose.
Yep, like in WoW. And well, they have 3, but yeah. And then there's the.
It's so cute.
It's stupidly adorable.
My character's a frog named Frogissimo,
and I am an orc.
His name is less creative.
Yeah, it's just from World of Warcraft. It's Thrall.
Well, hey, it's from Warcraft 3.
It's from Warcraft. And don't even get me started. I'm the one that knows all the lore about
You're
World
the
of
one who
Warcraft.
didn't know that the dragon from Cataclysm was from Warcraft 2.
That's because I started playing in Warcraft 3.
Well, excuse me, mister. I know the Warcraft lore.
I know the lore from 3 to WoW. I know general
all
bits of...
2 games.
I know all the lore included that has to do with the orcs, because that's what I care about. The fact that in that game the humans are bad and the orcs are good when it comes down to it. Which actually kind of makes me sad. In the Warcraft movie, I heard that they're going to probably center it around a human, which I'm not completely surprised. But everybody involved in like Blizzard and stuff, their hearts are with the hordes. And it kind of sucks that, it's going to be... They just better have Thrall in it, and he better be awesome, because he's super cool.
The director has a... He did Moon, which was fantastic, but then he also did Source Code, which was above average. Had some problems.
Right.
So... He there's potential there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I don't know. Do we know how they're planning on doing it? Is it going to be live action?
I believe it's supposed to be live action with CG.
There's going to have to be a shitload of CGI because none of those things in there are freaking vaguely humanoid. The humans don't even look. Their hands are the size of most people's chests.
I know, right? Like, how are they gonna like pull out? Well, apparently they showed off some Comic-Con or some footage at Comic-Con of some like little trailer thing, and it looked cool from what I heard.
Right.
But I don't know. I can't imagine it looking not silly.
But they've got that. WoW's got that kind of silly look to it, and I mean, and that's kind of gone back. I mean, since the classic ones, and like if you're gonna really capture the mood of the Warcraft style and that stylization they have, then you're gonna have to go kind of silly. But
Legendary's not gonna want to go silly.
No, Legendary's not gonna want to go silly. But you've got orcs and talking. Oh, good lord, it's gonna be silly. I mean, it is silly. And that's the thing that I like, though, is
darkness called.
Yeah, but I didn't have the phone, so I didn't pick it up. And then I don't know if you knew this, but if you click on the Dreadlord, he says, oh, hey, darkness, what's up? Ah, the demon hunter's not around, or something like that. And we make little connections and stuff.
What was that?
That was my phone falling on the ground and hitting my beer bottle.
We're parked on private property.
We don't have a fancy place to record this right now.
We're using the gear that I purchased for the movie that we didn't make.
No, we didn't do. That we will do.
But I mean, I've been using it for my
Denial is not just a river in Egypt.
I've never heard that before.
Really? I say that all the time.
We haven't been spending nearly enough time together.
Not nearly enough.
Well, I think that's about enough to wrap up our first episode.
Yeah, well, it happened, that's for sure.
That it did. We hope you enjoyed yourself. And we hope you'll come back hopefully next week, depending upon when we're able to get the next one recorded. Maybe I'll be able to convince Floyd here to do another one right now, but because I'm
Siege of Orgrimmar, man.
but yeah, so we hope to see you next week. And I'm Alejandro, and this is
I'm Floyd Blackman.
And we are Cooldown Timer.
Yay!
Rock on, yo.
See you next week, guys.
Bye-bye.